Tim Burton started his career in the 1980s as an animator, concept designer, art director, and storyboard artist for Disney. Being born in America on the 25th of August 1958, Tim Burton acquired an affinity for arts and film from a very young age, and went on to study character animation at California Institute of Arts. His short films Stalk of the Celery and Monster attracted the attention of Walt Disney Productions' animation division. Tim Burton's directing of TV horror anthologies made his talents evident and gave him credibility in the industry as a creative and competent director. His ability to create successful films with a low budget impressed studio executives. Therefore, he was given the role as the director for the high budget and extremely successful film Batman 1989. The term Burtonesque is a phrase used to describe the salient aesthetics in his films, mixing surrealism and fantasy with inspirations from German expressionist films. His films create immersive and commonly gothic worlds. The environments in Tim Burton's films commonly have a gothic and distorted architecture, quite dreamlike, that help complement and reinforce the tone of the film. Burton employs distinct lighting and coloring to identify certain characters in his films, and to convey meaning. The dark and foreboding castle that Edward Scissorhands inhabits juxtaposes with the bright and colorful houses that neighbor him. This reinforces Edward as unordinary and a social outcast. Burton uses low-key lighting and backlighting in this scene from Batman to create high contrast, separate the faces from the darkness, and to emphasize the subject's face. The use of cold muted colors represent the event as cold and nightmarish. The unnatural low-key lighting creates sharp lines of contrast and shadows that illustrate the killer as sinister. These manipulations of lighting and color show the scene is a vivid flashback that Bruce Wayne is remembering. The scene has little dialogue, helping it convey meaning and emotion through visual form by the manipulation of lighting and colors. Burton commonly uses music that balances the style of the film. For example, the iconic Batman theme by Danny Elfman can be high energy and bombastic during action scenes, elevating the tension in the audience and complementing the visuals, whereas in other scenes, the music can be slower and moody to match the tone of the scene, and to tell the audience that not much action is going on. The gothic and orchestral scores perfectly blend with the cold and mysterious city of Gotham. As for diegetic sound, Tim Burton uses exaggerated sound effects to reinforce the visuals of a scene. In this scene, in which the antagonist attempts to escape from the police inside a warehouse, the pierced metallic drum gushes acid onto the floor as gunshots loudly reverberate off the surroundings. Along with policemen shouting over ricocheting bullets, the use of diegetic sounds complements the visuals and help to create an intense and chaotic scene.
Oh my gosh.
Tim Burton's films usually stray from realism and emphasize dreamlike qualities through visual storytelling. This kind of storytelling is highly evident in the acting in his movies. In Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp plays an introverted and societal outcast. His most obvious trait of having scissors for hands emphasizes that his visual form and actions are more meaningful than his words, and that the audience can learn a lot about Edward's personality just through Johnny Depp's facial expressions, posture, and visual presentation. This is how Tim Burton uses acting to support his visual storytelling.
California, Oregon, and what's that one on top of it? Washington. Yeah, yeah. Oh, really? Well, screw you! Hi, can I help you?
Yes, I'm Ed Wood. I'm here about directing the Christine Jorgensen picture.
Tim Burton's Ed Wood is a biographical film about an aspiring 50s Hollywood director. Tim Burton utilizes Johnny Depp's acting abilities to portray Ed Wood as a charismatic eccentric with an artistic vision. Johnny Depp's shift in appearance, accent, and mannerisms blend together and contribute to creating a believable and nuanced character that the audience can be invested in.
Nobody will ever notice that. Filmmaking is not about the tiny details. It's about the big picture.
The big picture?
Yes.
Then how about when the policeman arrived in daylight, but now it's suddenly night?
What do you know? Haven't you heard of suspension of disbelief?
Love actors who like to transform, there's something that, again, is part of the surreal thing of making a film, is like when you see somebody who's not the way they really are and acting in a certain way and being believable, it's just extremely exciting. And then you see from film to film, it's like Edward Scissorhands, he doesn't speak. Ed Wood, he doesn't shut up.
In summary, Tim Burton masterfully uses lighting, color, music, sound, and acting in his films to define his unique Burton-esque style and convey his narratives. With more emphasis on evoking the right emotions rather than retaining realism, Tim Burton takes the use of these codes and conventions to the extreme, regardless of budget. Tim Burton works without artistic compromise to craft engaging and memorable films.